I can still see it. The sliding hospital doors swallowing them whole. No goodbye, no backward glance. Just the sound of my parents' car peeling away, leaving me in that cold, disinfected corridor with Grandma gasping for air in the next room. I was 21, scared, broke, and suddenly the only person standing between her and a slow death alone. Before the rot. It hadn't always been like that. We were a family once. At least, that's what I thought. My parents were ambitious, self-involved, obsessed with climbing social ladders. Grandma was the opposite, steady, stubborn, and inconveniently moral. She called them out on their greed more than once. They hated that. Still, I thought blood mattered, that when it came down to it, they'd be there. The realization. The night they left her was my turning point. She was recovering from surgery, fragile but alive. They told me they were stepping out for coffee. 30 minutes later, I got a text. "We can't do this. She's your problem now." They never came back. 7 years. 7 years is a long time to learn the weight of loyalty. I took care of her through every doctor's appointment, every bad night, every bill. I worked 2 jobs, paid for her medications, watched her shrink into the bed that eventually became her coffin. Not once did my parents call. Not once did they send a dime. The funeral. They showed up in black designer clothes, sunglasses big enough to hide their lack of grief. My father gave me a stiff nod. My mother avoided my eyes. After the service, they cornered me in the hallway of the funeral home. "Where's the lawyer?" my father asked, as if we were discussing a real estate closing. "She left everything to you, right?" my mother pressed. "We should talk about how to split it." The plan. They thought I'd been their errand girl for 7 years. They thought the will was theirs by default. They didn't know Grandma and I had spent those years quietly arranging a different ending. She'd had the will rewritten 2 years before she died, airtight, notarized, with witnesses who could outlast any challenge. And, at her insistence, we'd kept it secret. The reading. We gathered in the lawyer's office. My parents sat opposite me, all polite impatience. The lawyer, a woman with a voice like glass, opened the folder. "This is the last will and testament of Margaret Lane." The first few lines was standard. Then her tone sharpened. "To my son and his wife, I leave $1 each as a reminder that abandonment has a price." My mother's hand twitched. My father's jaw locked. "The remainder of my estate, including all property, savings, and investments, is to be inherited solely by my granddaughter Emma, in recognition of her care and loyalty in my final years." Silence. The kind that hums. The fall. My father leaned forward. "This can't be legal." The lawyer slid a packet toward him. Every signature verified. Every clause compliant with state law. Contesting will be costly and futile. My mother's face was pale, her lipstick suddenly too bright. "You manipulated her," she hissed. I met her eyes. "No, I was there. You weren't." The aftermath. They left without another word. No handshake, no hug, no pretense of family. Just the sound of the door clicking shut behind them. The house, the savings, the land, every bit of it was mine. Not because I asked, not because I fought, but because I stayed when they walked away. Reflection. Some people think revenge is loud, screaming, slamming doors, burning bridges. Mine was quiet. 7 years of silence. 7 years of showing up. 7 years of letting them write themselves out of her life. When the lawyer read her words, I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just sat there, steady, as they finally understood. You can abandon someone in a hospital corridor, but one day, in another room, someone will read the cost out loud, and you will pay it.